Hi, my name is Nathan, and today we're going to do a comic book review of King Spawn, issue number 7, brought to you by Rated Comics. Let's get to it. Now, I hope you guys can forgive me for my voice sounding like this, but after I get this comic book review out, I got to rest up and rest my voice for the next comic book review. We begin this issue with, after a brutal battle with Jason Wynn in Botswana, Spawn has returned back to the shadow alleys of New York City. Instead, he finds a putrid stench filled with city crawling with rats employed by Jason Wynn, who work for the Exodus Foundation, the secret bank behind the terrorist group Psalms 137. Gunfire is going off, and that group is why Spawn has returned. Wynn told him that Wanda could come back and that the Exodus could make that happen. So when these bullets are going at Spawn, this greed, smoke, necroplasm, Spawn uses that to reverse the bullet right back around into the Exodus Foundation, into their head. But one thing that keeps bothering Spawn is Wynn talked about Wanda in a manner that seemed way too freaking comfortable. Spawn's like, the way he spoke her name, he sounded like she was already back. And he's looking at the number 11. Terry's like, this feels like a trap, like they're expecting us. Spawn's like, good. Then we'll walk right in the front door and I'll take what I want. And then Terry's like, what is it that you want, Spawn? I heard that Wynn said he was talking about Wanda like taunting you, making you think you could bring her back. I don't give a damn what any of you think right now. I'm wondering why they changed her numbers to 11. Terry's like, I don't get it. What does that got to do with Wanda? Maybe nothing, maybe everything. Use your training. They didn't change that number for no reason. So Terry's like, you're just gonna go back at it? Okay, well, I need to know if it's true. Can you actually bring her back, like Wynn said? And Spawn's like, you already said it. They're taunting us. And even if I could, I wouldn't. Now focus on why they chose 11. Who gives a shit, says Terry. Spawn gives Terry his moment. In previous wars, part of Terry's job was to read codes and to crack ciphers. And he was always better at it when he was angry. And of course, if he focuses, and he figured it out, 1, 3, 7, combined they're 11. It's the sum. It's what the numbers of Psalm 137 add up to, Spawn. And on this panel, we get this awesome panel of the throne of Spawn that they want him to take, and these text messages talking about the 11th hour. What does that even mean? A bunch of a-holes are saying the Psalms things. The king is going to be exalted. Get off the thread. Let's do this. It's the 11th hour. 11, in biblical terms, it's a number that denotes chaos. 11 priests working in Congress against Spawn, that some still in the shadows. Then we see these people, these villains, these monsters, these agents, they're like looking below. They're like, okay, when Spawn arrives, the first wave begins. The protests will soon turn into riots. Chaos will ensue, and Spawn will come. And then Mammon's like, you think your theatrics will draw Spawn to the throne? Theatrics? This brother, the Black Age girl, gets pissed about you calling my shit theatrics. You tripping? What is it that you think this is, Mammon? Your time sitting in Mount Boja's throne has blinded you to a new reality. And this crazy fight in Dolls, Mammon turns into this, is it this lizard or the swamp thing or whatever? And he's like, no, more. He's one man and none of you can destroy him. You failed me, Mammon. You failed me. Spawn's one man. Ezreal, that's enough, off panel. And Ezreal's like, no, I decide what's enough. He pushes Mammon onto the God throne. And it's like this John Carpenter thing. His skin starts boiling. Other heads and other spirits like emerge from his body. And you can tell this guy is in tremendous pain. But not until you feel the pain from the souls of the next world. And then boom, all this beautiful blood and guts explodes out of him. You are the court of priests. Act like it. Now the leader, Black Ezreal, wants the others to understand the seriousness of this message. Having them watch Mammon's punishment will drive that point. Now come to your leader. Now come all of you. Our leader commands we find Spawn and deliver him to his throne. One of you tend to Mammon's wounds. And it's kind of funny. Rain pours down in the city. Spawn and Terry, they find one of the Exodus soldiers and they disappear. And just like that, in front of the Exodus tower, it's like they're doing this march the day Wanda Blake died. It's a flashback, and Spawn's like, they're playing games, they're playing mind games, they're liars. What are they doing? It's deja vu, and it's not pretty, but it's actually more than that. Terry's like, wait, is that Wanda's car? Let's go. It might be her. I don't want you reliving this, Spawn. Spawn's like, we can't. It's not real. Then someone in the crowd shoots, and starting a riot that catches Wanda's car inadvertently in the action. Every witness said her death was a tragic accident caused by an overzealous mom. And these mobsters, these protesters are just going to work on her car, scaring her, terrifying her. Just like in King Spawn issue number 1, this was executed to merely garner Spawn's attention. Because from that moment, Al died. From the very second he traded his soul and he became Spawn, he knew that his wife, the love of his life, was destined to die like this. All because Al had been cursed with the powers of the Hellspawn. And as Spawny misses power, this brother gets disintegrated. The flaming bottle of liquor lands in the car, and Spawn is reminded in that very moment that for all his victories, all his powers, he's incapable of changing the past, impotent to prevent a replay of his greatest loss, which is Wanda as she burns alive in the car during the riot. Black Azrael comes in. You must be asking, who would dare do this to her? It was us. We plotted your wife's death, all for the purpose of bringing you to this moment, to your throne, and soon you'll rule not only this world, but you will lord over other worlds you've yet to imagine, Spawn. Now we go into this snow world that has been covered with green, a place of which we can only dream of. The Oracle's talking to Simon. Do you understand what you're seeing, Simon? As they see the reflection of what's going on in this pond. Simon's like, they're trying to hurt Mr. Spawn. No, they're trying to break him so they can use him. But that has angered someone none of us want to see get mad. Is that the person you talk about, Gaia? Yes, and she can make everything die if she wants. That's why Winters has come to this place. And Simon's like, well, why would she do that? Because she's dying too. Like Mr. Spawn's wife, just like that. And then Simon says something that triggers the Oracle, where I'm glad I'm safe here. You're not safe. She wraps her fist around his neck. You weren't brought here to be safe. You're already dead, boy. Stop what you're doing. And meanwhile, while she's strangling Simon around his neck, caught in some odd trance, the Oracle briefly pauses as she hears a whisper. Oracle, the whisper of her master calling. She drops Simon. Simon goes into the woods, and the Oracle looks for Gaia. Flames come out alive like Exodus when God spoke with Moses. You know, when the flames come around the bush, the ground trembles as flame bursts apart in the pond before her, and Oracle listens to Gaia's commands. They have started their war. I told them never to begin, but they've defied me once more, building their throne, thinking their new king will become my equal as they conspire by joining together. My priority right now must be the safety of that boy. Survival rests with him and his well-being. So for your sake and everyone else's, treat that child like you had birthed him yourself. Am I understood, Oracle? Yes, my lord. Raise the child well, for he is a special one. Simon goes into the cold. He sees his big foot imprint and his sharp, dark, shadowy figure overlooking him. And Simon asks him, are you a friend? And it was in that moment that hulking giant leaps forward, a monstrous heap composed of nature's discards. But more importantly, if Al had known what the boy was to become, he might have killed the child himself. I am your teacher, and you are Simon the Kingslayer. And that's where we end Spawn issue number 7. Once again, I wish I could put more enthusiasm with my voice doing this review, and I appreciate those comments where you guys say my yelling and my enthusiasm helps, bring the reviews back to life. But I had to bring out this content because this is a gangster issue, and this feels like old school Spawn, reliving the past, bringing it back forward, pushing it forward, and I'm excited to see where issue number 8 and future stories of this issue goes. This is definitely worth adding to your comic book collection. Link in description if you wish to do so. With that being said, King Spawn, issue number 7. What you guys think of the comic book? Comment below, let me know. And also, if you like the content we're throwing up, you know what to do. Don't be shy and don't be stingy. Here at Rated Comics, we do awesome comic book reviews, comic book related content with the occasional comic book giveaway. Thanks again for watching. Until next time.